Hey there, and welcome back to my channel. Tim here from Studio, and today we're going to be designing and making a simple custom desk organizer out of mahogany plywood. I've been planning to make this project for a long time now because as an architect, I'm always collecting a lot of pens, pencils, post-it notes, binder clips, and other things that start to clutter my desk because I don't really have a good place to put them. In fact, I've been putting all of my pens and pencils in coffee holders, and I'm sure you've been doing the same thing over time if you use a lot of pens and pencils for whatever you do. Now that I'm working from home, I decided it was time for me to upgrade my desk and my workstation to something that would support my health and also support the work that I'm doing throughout the day as an architect and at night when I'm editing my YouTube videos because I'm sitting most of the time. So I decided to get a sit-stand desk from a company called Autonomous, which I'll link in the description section below. For this reason, I also decided it was time for me to use my Glowforge laser cutter to make something fun and unique for my desk. I decided it was time for me to make this desk organizer so that I can keep all of my pens, pencils, post-it notes, and everything else all in one spot so that it wouldn't clutter my station and it would open up all of the surface area for me to move around and do anything that I need to do. So with that, let's jump into the design and 3D model of this simple desk organizer that I'll be making out of mahogany plywood. Here's a 3D model of this simple desk organizer that I came up with in a software called Rhinoceros. You can see how simple it is because the form is essentially a semicircle with shelving in between. All of these pieces here are installed at an angle, and the lower shelf here is intended for post-its and other flat objects, whereas the top two areas here are intended for my pens and pencils to be inserted at an angle. The reason why I wanted my pens and pencils to be in there at an angle is because I actually like the fact that pens usually will want to lean to one side or the other, and having it in this way will let me pull a pen out, use that pen or pencil, put it back in at the top, and it'll start to reorganize itself on its own. Whereas if this were vertical and you put your pens inside, you usually end up with a center area that's empty because all the pens are leaning away from one another. I also thought it'd be kind of nice to see this kind of like a rainbow, because you'd have all of your pens coming out of the top. With that, I also decided that this area here would be nice for post-it notes, binder clips, and other things because I typically have a lot of these smaller objects floating around my desk at the same time. So this will help me stay organized, and it'll also keep everything in one spot on my desk that's easily accessible. Now let's go into Adobe Illustrator, where I'll show you how I've efficiently laid out all of my sheets to be laser cut in my Glowforge laser cutter, and I'll also show you how the pieces were designed. Here in Adobe Illustrator, you can see how I've laid out all of the pieces that I need on two full-size sheets of mahogany plywood that fits inside of my Glowforge laser cutter. You'll also see how simple all of the pieces are designed because it's essentially the two semicircles for the front and back sides of this desk organizer, followed by all of the panels that get inserted and finger jointed in between. When I construct this, I'm planning to use some wood glue because I want to make sure that this entire thing will be held together. I'm also going to finish the mahogany plywood with some clear polyurethane. So that's my design and 3D model of the simple desk organizer. This is going to be a quick project to laser cut and to put together, and I'm excited to show you how it turns out. Before we get into laser cutting and assembling this project, please remember to support this channel by liking this video and subscribing for more like it. So with that, let's jump into laser cutting, assembling, and then I'll show you what the final project looks like when it's done. So that's how I designed and made this custom desk organizer out of mahogany plywood. This project was really fun to work on, and one of the things that I would change about the design of this project in the future is the angle of the bottom shelf here. The bottom shelf is set at an angle where if any pens are set on it, it'll probably fall off if it's not set on there correctly. So instead for me, I actually like to use post-it notes a lot, and I also have other things like erasers that sit pretty flat within those shelves, so this desk organizer is pretty custom to me and my preferences for my desk setup. I'm excited to finally have a custom and dedicated desk organizer like this one here to keep all of my pens, pencils, post-it notes, erasers, and other objects off of my work surface. I really like to keep my work surfaces clean, and it'll help me in the future with quickly taking my sketch paper and my sketchbook, putting it down on my surface, grabbing a pen or pencil, and sketching something out quickly whenever I have an idea. Let me know what you think about the design of this project in the comment section below, and remember to support this channel by liking this video and subscribing for more like it.